Patrick Moore claims 30 workouts in between pro shows. I'm down for a good story. Good stories keep people engaged. They're inspiring, and anything that inspires folks to eat better, maybe start working out, or feeling better about themselves, are all pluses. And if there's a little white lie here or there, that's okay, too. In the fitness industry, we're all well accustomed to a few tall tales. Whether it's supplement companies holding themselves out as having the most anabolic products or athletes who claim they achieved huge PRs by taking certain pills or powders, we've all pretty much heard it all. We're almost desensitized at this point. I mean, does anything make you do a double take anymore? We've had to watch a grown man juiced to the gills talk about how he never even looked at drugs, but was able to build an insane physique by eating raw liver. Another bozo talked about how his secret was duck eggs. Others have focused on low calories, high calories, eating one meal a day or sleeping in chambers. Like I said, nothing shocks me anymore. But just when I think I've heard it all, here comes Patrick Moore talking about how he went from looking like trash at one dumpy show to taking second place at another dumpy show just 6 days later. And how did he accomplish this tremendous feat? He claims he traveled from Anaheim to Reno and then had 30 training sessions during those 6 days. 30. Not 5 or 6, not 10, either. He claims he trained 30 times in 6 days, losing 15 pounds of whatever it was that was holding him back at the Cali Pro. So let's break this down and then regroup once it's all been laid out. Let's talk about the travel time between Anaheim to Reno. The distance, as the crow flies, is 500 miles. It could be accomplished by driving 8 hours non-stop or more than likely taking a flight. If we're talking about taking a flight, we're dealing with water that would be held just due to the fact that whoever flies is more than likely going to be jet-lagged. And usually when people are jet-lagged, they need at least a day to assimilate before they can start doing things like working out. I can't imagine that somebody that just got off stage in Anaheim is going to want to get into a car and drive 8 hours to Reno. Because nobody can drive 8 hours non-stop, and even if they could, they would be so mentally and physically exhausted that they would probably need more time to assimilate than if they were merely jet-lagged. So let's assume that Patrick competed in Anaheim, took a bad placing, maybe had a cheeseburger and fries, and then jumped on a plane and went to Reno. According to his alleged workout routine, he would have had to have worked out the second he got there. Because 30 sessions in the gym over 6 days means he needed to be training more than 4 times per day. And each workout would be 30 to 60 minutes, right? Does any of that sound plausible?
The guy who just prepped for 16
does
weeks.
it? Maybe he had a cheat meal, then travels to another city 500 miles away, and embarks on what sounds like the worst peak week of his life. And then he appears on stage looking better than the week prior. And it's because of 30 workout sessions in 6 days. That's total bullshit. And how, pray tell, would he have even had the energy to do 30 sessions at the gym given those conditions? His body would have been so messed up that he would have been hard-pressed to train once per day, let alone 4 times. This is all crap. I mean, you can't forget that this was not off-season training. He was still very much in a caloric deficit, and he couldn't add more calories because then he would be off there as well. So he was basically, Moore was subsisting on peak week calories while training 4 times a day. Aside from the lack of energy, he would have been so frantic that I doubt he could have closed his eyes at night. Who can sleep given that insanity? And what's crazy is that when he took the stage in Reno, he looked very much rested and polished. None of that amounts to what he is telling the public. This is why I'm writing this article. I'm not trying to rain on the guy's parade. I'm very happy he was able to turn it around and score a respectable placing just 6 days after he took a shitty one. What bothers me is the fact that he is hanging his hat on this 30 workout bullshit rhetoric. Because other people are going to look at it and they're going to try it, and they may not look better on contest day. They may actually drop dead. The idea that somebody in this caloric state with cortisol levels bouncing up and down would be able to endure this kind of workout regimen is absolutely and patently absurd. So even though I am largely desensitized to a lot of the nonsense that I hear about in the fitness industry, there are times, like this, where I can't stay quiet. What Patrick Moore is attesting to sounds like a bunch of nonsense, and it's nonsense that a lot of people in this industry would rely upon. Even though he's not advocating it for others, he swears that this is what worked for him. It's apples and oranges. It's night and day. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but I can see a lot of people trying their hand at it. I think it's highly irresponsible of Patrick Moore to concoct this story and then repeat it over and over again as if that's going to make naysayers into believers. He can repeat it till I'm 100 years old and I still won't believe him. We don't know if he lost water weight, we don't know if he lost fat, we just don't know. If it was water, he might have been able to do it with diuretics. If it was fat, there's only one thing he could have used, and it's not even a supplement. Again, I don't know what the specifics are, but there's no way 30 workouts in 6 days would have done it. I just don't like dishonesty. Maybe Moore is a genetic freak and it did work for him. That said, I have been covering this sport for nearly 20 years and I can tell you that the body just does not work that way. I don't think it's physically possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, I'm just saying with my 20 years of covering bodybuilding, I don't think that somebody can tighten up and improve in 6 days by working out 30 times. It seems like a bunch of bullshit to me, and if it did work for Patrick, he probably should have kept it to himself. These types of details are simply not necessary. First of all, nobody believes him. Second of all, nobody believes him.